Okay, I have tried to make this video in less than 8 to 10 minutes, and I have failed every time. And this time, I'm just going to go for it, and I pray I can get it in under 3 to 4 minutes, because nobody wants to hear me rant about this for like as long as I can rant about this. There is a court case where a teenage activist had a prayer bulletin removed from a public school. She argued that this was a violation of the Constitution under the criterion of the separation of church and state. And upon her appeal, she won. And the prayer bulletin was taken down. Her name is Jessica Ahlquist. Now, first of all, in a nutshell, the reason for the separation of church and state is this. If I, as a Protestant Christian, saw a big banner in my child's public school that said, "Hail Mary," and my child came home from school that day and wanted to know why we don't Hail Mary as much as we Hail Jesus, there's going to be problems in my household, because that is not what my tax dollars are going for. Christ said, "I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it." He didn't say, "I will build my school, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it," or "I will build my federal Capitol building, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it." No, he said, "I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it." What more do we need? They can take the 10 Commandments out of every federal building, and the gates of hell will not prevail against the true church of God. First of all. Secondly, what I want to talk about in this video, and probably most importantly, is the fact that this teenage girl is now receiving hate mail. For the sake of my other Christian subscribers on this channel, I can't go into all of the cursing and profanity that was dished out to this young girl. I'll link the article in the description, like Atheist Aussie did, so that you can go there and read that yourself. But suffice it to say, people were saying that she needed to be drowned in holy water, and reminded me of a video I saw here on YouTube where Richard Dawkins was reading his hate mail, and somebody told him that he needed to be run over by a Christian bus. And, you know, this does not seem to pair up with the commandment that we are given, because Christ said, "You have heard, love your friends and hate your enemies, but I say to you, love your enemies. Bless them who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you." Basically, I think people who behave that way are the weeds among the wheat and the goats among the sheep. And if you ask them what that meant, they wouldn't know what it meant. They wouldn't be able to tell you where to find it in the Bible. You know, when my husband was a teenager in school and in Sunday school, he was one of the last ones to be baptized. And the reason he was one of the last ones to be baptized is because he wanted to make sure that his commitment, that this symbolic baptism was truly symbolic of the rebirth that had occurred in him, and that he wasn't doing it just because all the other little kids were doing it. And what happened to him? He was picked on and teased and mocked by the newly baptized kids. Everybody thought that he was on drugs. Everybody thought that because he had long hair, he was a thug. These are people who have made their decisions to follow Christ, as they are coaxed to do by all the mood music in the churches at invitation time. And they have signed up for Jesus in the same way that a lot of people choose what football team they want to root for. But in the spirit of the true believer, there is an indwelling of the Holy Spirit who convicts us about anger towards our enemies. And I want to, if it were possible, apologize to that young woman and hope that she sees the actions of some people claiming to be Christian. It just simply doesn't pair up with the way we're commanded to behave. That's all I had to say. Throw the Spirit out.